truth. Thank you, Divine Masculine, for these gorgeous roses. Look at these gorgeous roses he got you. I prayed to Saint Therese, a little flower, to inspire him, and she always does, and I'm so happy when he brings us the roses. So thank you, and I love you. And I greet you, my love, in the love and light of the one infinite creator Adonai. We communicate now. God, send forth your spirit, they shall be created, and you shall renew the face of the earth. Lord God, source of eternal life and truth, give to the twin flames the wisdom, guidance, and counsel they need this first week of November regarding their entire lives, because their lives are so precious and important. I'm using the Thoth deck. I'm using my new Uri Geller extraterrestrial deck, some romantic cards, starseed type cards to get you the most detailed message possible. Come, O Creator Spirit, blessed, and in our souls take up thy rest. Come with your grace and heavenly aid to fill these hearts which you made. Great Paraclete, to thee I cry. O highest gift of God most high, O fount of life, O fire of love, and sweet anointing from above, who in thy sevenfold gifts art known, the finger of God's hand I own, the promise of the Father, thou who dost my tongue with power and endow, and kindle our senses from above, and let our hearts overflow with love, with patience firm and virtue high, the weakness of our flesh supply. Drive far from us the foe we dread, and grant us your true peace instead. So shall we not with you for guide turn from this sacred golden path of life aside? My soul proclaims the greatness of the Lord. My spirit rejoices in God our Savior. Yud He Vav He, He Aleph Aleph. Okay, so his energy prior to this reading, Divine Masculine, your energy, the universe. Definitely you were wrapping something up. It's the close of a cycle. It's the happy ever after, but it's also a brand new beginning. So he closed something out, but it was a happy ending, and he completed that. It could be something that he completed regarding, it's like a major undertaking, because this is the universe card. This doesn't only impact him and you, Divine Masculine, but it impacts the world. It's like some sort of a legacy that he'll be leaving behind. It's his mark. It's a mark you're leaving on the world, Divine Masculine, a mark, a brand, some major valuable contribution, and that's behind you now. You're closing that out. Let's see where he's headed. Here we have the four living creatures, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And there's this giant snake. So he's shedding a skin. He's shedding a skin, Divine Feminine, and it's revealing a fresh layer. It's like a fresh new start. He's holding on to the crescent moon, so he's also amplifying his psychic abilities. So maybe he's been spending time outside looking at the stars and the moon, because that actually amplifies your psychic abilities. But he could be using his psychic abilities moving into the near future as he begins this brand new cycle. Here we have Scorpio, and that's the season we're in. Scorpio is the eagle. So it's about receiving messages from the eagle, the birds. The birds are messages from usually people that have passed on, but definitely from higher intelligence. So it could either be a saint, and we are celebrating the Feast of Saints on November, I think, 1st and 2nd, and the Holy Souls. The veil is the thinnest right now. And he's actually channeling messages from higher intelligence, which we call infinite intelligence. Yes, cosmic lamp. Yeah, he's it's not necessarily an ancestor, as it is a highly intelligent being, cosmic lamp of the ultimate truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So it's actually, he's channeling the future, futuristic knowledge. Actually, it's like the past, the present, and the future. It's like a combination of like ancestors, extraterrestrials, higher intelligence, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, whoever he's channeling, they're telling him the truth. Not all beings will tell you the truth. Not all beings are beneficial for you. Not all beings that you channel are going to give you infinite intelligence, but he is channeling infinite intelligence. Here we see the cosmic lamp. I meant to, this actually like reminds me of a Hindu lamp. Oh yes, that's what he meant. That's what Uri Geller meant for it to be. In the Hindu tradition, the warm, bright glow from a lamp is thought to be auspicious and represents the ultimate truth of enlightenment. It symbolizes the victory of light over darkness, good over evil. Since ancient times, lamps have been lit at dawn or dusk. So I think he's doing it more, yeah, at dawn or dusk. When the stars are and the moon, you can still see the moon in the sky and the stars are still sparkling. So he's shining the light on any dark areas that he needs to work on and reflecting so that he can shed that skin. So that's what he's doing. I feel like at dawn and dusk, he's shining the light into the dark aspects of himself. That's the psychic abilities, to be able to look really into himself, shedding the skin to reveal a new nature because he's a new creation in Christ, or he's a new creation in regards to graduating to a new level of spirituality, coming to a new level of understanding of himself. Okay, this is very scientific too because there's like a periodic table here with all the elements. So he's really been working on himself, Divine Feminine, and he's graduated to the next level. So whatever he was doing, he completed that. He mastered that. That's mastered, and now he's going to do something new, but he has to reveal this new aspect. You have to reveal this new aspect of yourself, Divine Masculine, in order to make your next new stamp on the world. Great gathering. It's all coming together. He's getting intuitive hits and he's connecting to his soul tribe. So that's what he's doing. He's connecting to his soul tribe, seeing lavender and violet. Maybe he's working with the violet flame. And he could be connecting with other people. Why is this so bright? On this plane, like on the earthly plane. Also, I'm listening to Fire, Moon, and Miracles, produced by Meditative Mind. Let me just push this back. It's still like glare. Where is the glare coming from? I don't know. Maybe you can't see it. So also, there's like mountains there, but they look like formations, like they've been formed over time. Oh, these are definitely these are the intelligent beings that he's channeling. Maybe I think they're from Venus. Okay, so he's channeling. This is like raw. They're from Venus. It's 6-dimensional consciousness. He's channeling 6-dimensional consciousness is what he's channeling here, and he's going to learn something new. They're giving him information to bring forth into this world that will be another valuable contribution that he makes, but it will be something unique and new. And it will have his individual stamp because it's part of his cosmic consciousness, and it's part of his blueprint. It's part of his blueprint. He's getting this through intuition, through intuitive hits, when he shines the light, when he takes time to meditate at either dawn or dusk, or he's spending time under the stars, connecting to the planets and the stars and the moon, and listening to the truth and trusting the messages that he gets. He trusts the message he gets because he knows these beings are beneficial for him. He knows these are light beings because they're the cosmic lamp. So he's doing something brand new the first week of November. Look at this. The Great Gathering. It says the Great Gathering. It's all coming together here. And then this says coming full circle. So also he's channeling from Sirius, Dog Star. Okay, so that's Sirius and Venus. Venus and Sirius. Okay, so the planet Venus and the star Sirius. He's channeling, and this person's like has DNA. So he's also probably like upgrading his DNA and even activating 12-strand DNA. It's all coming full circle because in order to really tap into this high intelligence, you really have to purify your body, mind, and soul, which is the shedding of the skin indicated by the giant snake. And the fresh new skin you see here, he's like golden. He could be working with the Merkaba too, using the Merkaba because the 4 living creatures are the chariots of God. And the Merkaba is the vehicle. You know, you are the driver. The reins are like your mind. You drive it with your mind. And the soul is the passenger. And you go into the upper world, the outer realms, to channel the messages, and you bring it back to make your contribution. And Syrian star seeds, they are here to make a contribution. So it's the Great Gathering here. So he could be a Syrian star seed that's channeling messages from the Vesuvians. A Syrian star seed. And he also could be working with the Violet Flame, Saint Germain, Lady Portia. They are twin flames. So I'm seeing a lot of violet here. So the Violet Flame is a really good way to purify, to shed the skin, to transmute your base nature, to do the alchemy of your soul. Find joy in the simple pleasures of just being together. One thing he's learning from Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John is the royal law and the golden rule, to love one another and to treat others as you would want to be treated. And that's also a universal law. That's the law of cause and effect and the law of compensation. You get as good as you give, and there is a cause for there's like a consequence to everything you do. So he's creating good consequences, good karma. He's channeling wisdom so that he can share and impart the wisdom on the world. And he's coming from a place of love. It's a place of generosity. It's a place of, I want to unite with my twin flame because this is our divine partnership mission. This is our mission together. We love one another, and then we look at all other people in our life as an extension of ourself. That when I look at anyone, but I practice first with my divine feminine, and then when I look at anyone else, I see them also as, if it's a woman, a divine feminine, and if it's a man, a divine masculine, because we're all part of the same tribe. We're all cut from the same fabric. We're all one. It's the law of one. And then he's connecting because he has this mindset, because he's tapping into the root of his mind. That's the reins, right? And what he's doing is he's creating his tribe on the earthly plane. They're all around him because he goes out with this mindset that this is my tribe. My tribe is here. My tribe isn't at a distance. It's not in the future. It's not far away. And this is what the Vesuvians are teaching him. Okay, and so everything's coming full circle for him, because he may have before looked at people as enemies or, different from himself or apart from himself. But he practices with you, divine feminine. He sees you as his other self, that you are an extension of him. You are the other half of his soul. But then he looks at other people in his life and he sees that they are part of his tribe, his soul family. It's a soul group, because he's able to glimpse the future where we are all united. We are all working together. That's why you're Syrian starseed, to work together. And so he's waking up at dawn with his tribe here. It's like he's bringing the reality into the present, if that makes sense to you. It makes sense, total sense to me. finding the joy and simple pleasures of just being together. Also, he's not worried so much about the future. He's like really being present in the moment with each person he's engaging with and paying attention, because he's activating a higher state of intellect. Okay, that's what the light is. It's like the light in his mind is being turned on, and he's able to foster relationships based on a sense of togetherness. Like, I'm here with you right now. I am present right here with you now. And I'm also activated and connected to the divine. What can I do for you? And how can we collaborate? Okay, so that's where he's been. Let's find out where he's going this week with you, Divine Feminine. Okay, so this is his energy towards Divine Feminine. This is fifth dimension connection. This is what's going on behind the scenes. This is what he's working on within the connection with you, because we see there's something really big happening in his life. It's mostly the way he relates to other people that's going to take him to another level in career, work, or whatever his talent or his skill or his trade is, the way he spreads his treasures. And this is the way he'll relate to you, and this is the way you'll respond. On the bottom of the deck, wow, we have 9 of Cups. So this is a yes to your question if the answer will make you happy. So this is everything flowing, like the love is flowing, the communication is flowing. And this is sort of lucky too, because this is a card ruled by Jupiter, which is the planet of luck and expansion. But the happiness, it's like he's choosing to be happy now. Feelings are a choice. And so he's choosing to be happy. Because he's choosing to be happy, then that happiness is spreading and it's flowing into all areas of his life this week. So when you choose to be happy, Divine Masculine, you make other people happy. So feeling is the secret, and choosing to feel joy and happiness is contagious. So it's something positive, some positive energy to spread around the world. And it always comes back to you 100-fold, 100% when you choose to be happy. And even if it's difficult to be happy, there's more merit behind it when you choose to be happy when it's even difficult to feel happy. And remember, those who sow in tears will reap a harvest. They will reap a harvest of abundance and joy. And that's, I think, Psalm 126. Yeah, I'll close the first half of the reading out with Psalm 126, and then we'll get into the in-depth twin flame reading. So we'll read the word of the Lord. These are the Psalms of David. So this one's titled The Reversal of Zion's Fortunes. When the Lord restored the fortunes of Zion. Oh, this is the Song of Ascents. Wow, it's about ascension. Then we thought we were dreaming. Our mouths were filled with laughter. Our tongues sang with joy. Then it was said, the Lord has done great things for us. Oh, how happy we are. Restore again our fortunes, Lord, like the dry stream beds of the Negev. So everything's going to be overflowing with water, and it's going to create a fertile land again. So if things felt dry, felt like you were in the desert and you were thirsty and it was like the dark night of the soul and everything was dry, now the water's coming forth to make everything fertile again. It's like when the Nile floods, every year, and that makes everything grow and lush. Those who sow in tears will reap with cries of joy. Those who go forth weeping, carrying sacks of seed, will return with cries of joy, carrying their bundled sheaves. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Deo gracias. Okay, so this is his energy towards you this week, Divine Feminine. The Hanged Man. So he's making a sacrifice for you and the connection this week. This is a voluntary sacrifice. He's not being forced into this. He's choosing this sacrifice through his free will. He wants the relationship to last always and forever. There you have the Ankh. That is a symbol of eternal life. But this is coming from the shedding of the skin. There you see the snake again. One there wrapped around his ankle, which the ankle moves the body forward. Again, connected to the Ankh. It's about eternal life. That's all forward motion. It's all forward motion. The sacrifice that he makes this week will lead to something valuable in the future. Okay, all the nails, it's like it's Christ consciousness, being nailed to the cross, but also not deeming equality with Christ by being nailed upside down. That's what Stephen the Martyr did, because he didn't want to deem equality with Christ. So that means Christ is his head, indicated by the sun, and he is here having some traits and characteristics of Jesus, which makes him divine, masculine, He's tapping into his divinity, Divine Feminine, and the shedding of the skin. That's what he's shedding. He's shedding that ego that prevents him from wanting to make sacrifices or being the repugnance of making sacrifices. So this week, the new skin is revealing this Christ-likeness, a Christic being who, like Christ, is willing to lay his life down for you, Divine Feminine, to die for you, in a sense, to die to himself, to die to his ego in order to make some sacrifice for you and the connection. What kind of a sacrifice is he making for you and the connection this week? Black hole. Acknowledge the void. A black hole is a place in space where gravity's pull is so strong that even light can't escape from it. Ooh, that's good. We don't want the light to escape. We know that they exist because of the effect they exert on the stars that orbit near them. At the center of any black hole is the singularity, a point that's infinitely small and dense. The nearest black hole to Earth is Gaia, BH1, which is 1,560 light years away from Earth. Time slows down in black holes. Perhaps they are pathways to other galaxies or universes, to different dimensions, or even to the end of time itself. If you've been trying to fill a black hole at the center of your being with meaningless distractions, or you've been keeping busy in an attempt to evade the void of not knowing who you are, you've been running away for far too long. There's a void in your heart because you've lost touch with your soul. This is where he was. See, that's what happened to him. And that's the skin he shed, that losing touch with his soul, Divine Feminine. And see, you may have been suffering when he was in that energy of the black hole. And maybe that's what's happening to you this week, Divine Masculine. Maybe you're being called to shed that skin. The advice would be shed that skin and don't run from your future. Don't try to fill it with misqualified foci of energy or meaningless distractions. Tap into the essence of who you truly are. Keep communicating with those Syrian starseeds and the Vesuvians. And have the courage to face yourself. Take a deep breath. Acknowledge the black hole and meet the person you were born to be. So this is like also tapping into the reservoir of his cosmic consciousness to know what the divine plan of his life is. Okay. acknowledging that he wasn't in a good place, that he was running from, not you, divine feminine. It felt like he was running from you, but he was running from himself, knowing himself. But now he's voluntarily getting in touch with himself. So he's channeling the light in all the way down through the soles of his feet, all the way to his crown chakra to get that illumination. And the Blessed Mother is helping him, the Star Mother. She's the hail bright star of the sea. She's Polaris. So how can you mother yourself? She's teaching him how to love himself, because maybe he doesn't know how to take care of himself. He doesn't know how to eat. He doesn't know how to master a routine. He doesn't know how to interact interpersonally with other people or engage. He doesn't know how to defend himself in the work world. And she's teaching him all of these things, and you enjoy the protection of her blue mantle, divine masculine. You're under her blue mantle of protection as she holds you inside of her immaculate heart, and she instructs you. She teaches you how to face yourself and know yourself, and then accept who you are so that you can be who you're meant to be in this world, which is you came in to make a valuable contribution, but mostly to be the divine masculine to divine feminine, the man that's willing to make sacrifices. Something is hidden from you. Someone is not being truthful. So she's going to help him, divine feminine, to open up to you, to tell you his truth. Okay, he kept a lot of who he is hidden from not just himself, but from you. See, he was hiding who he was from himself, and he was presenting a person that he was. It's like a mask. That's like the black hole. It's like he was hiding behind a mask, which was he was emulating a person or an archetype or some sort of an alter ego that doesn't represent who he is. And she's helping him. He's communicating with her about his secrets, and she's accepting him and validating him. And he's starting to see how who he is and all his secrets make him such a valuable person, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. There's nothing to hide from. And then he will make a huge sacrifice. It'll feel like a big risk to share and disclose all of that to you in order to illuminate you, divine feminine. So this all feels like he's sinking here. He's sinking into the deep earth. When he tells you all of this stuff, can feel very vulnerable, but it's like he's going to crack open. It's like he's a seed pushed under the earth, but when he tells you all his secrets, he's going to crack open, and from that, like a beautiful tree is going to burst forth and grow. And he's going to feel this huge sense of relief, like he's blooming again, he's growing, he's evolving, he's accepted, and he accepts himself, and the Blessed Mother accepts him, and then he finds out you accept him, and then he's attracting his soul tribe. Okay, this is all very internal that's happening to him. The Hermit is all happening inside of his mind. It's his interior castle where he's communicating and he's shedding the skin. See, there's the dog star, Sirius, and there's the snake shedding the skin. And even here you see the sperm and the egg. So he's being reborn. This is a rebirth to himself, right? And there's the bird, the eagle, the bird-headed god, Horus. That's the Vesuvians, all in this card. Everything I just said is showing up here in this card. And see, they're holding the magic purse, but it's got the sun on it, and it's like a sacred geometry. It's one of the Platonic solids. So he's getting wisdom about himself, about life, the laws of the universe, and about what he's meant to do next, like what he's meant to do this week. But this is a big undertaking, because these are all major arcana cards that have come out so far. So this is like whatever's happening this week is changing the trajectory of his life. Eye of Horus, I just said that. The bird-headed god, Ra, that's Horus. See? That's who's talking to him. Those are the Vesuvians. Clear vision and protection. There's special protection over him while he's going through this process. Okay. He's becoming a mystic is what's happening. And he's going to be using that in a very unique way. See, there's the Ankh that he was hanging from. And that's where he's channeling the wisdom in that self-imposed, making this, I want to make a sacrifice. I want to leave a valuable contribution on the world. Maybe the contribution that he wrapped up was something more materialistic, but it was valuable and it was unique, and it had a positive impact on the world. But this is more of a, what was I saying? Can't remember what I was saying. This is like his destined mission. This is more of a spiritual mission, and it can be applied to any aspect of his life. You don't have to be working in a spiritual job to fulfill your spiritual mission. And the Blessed Mother teaches us that. She teaches us that, like, you know, Jesus came to show us like how practical you live your life, but you live it as a new creation, and it has everything to do with the way you treat people. The law of cause and effect, and the law of causation, compensation. Falling fast. Love happens quickly, but don't lose yourself in the process. Yeah, his heart is opening super fast, and you're going to feel like you're falling in love with him all over again, Divine Feminine, because he's going to be falling really fast for you. Because as his heart opens and because he's feeling accepted, it's like he's accepting himself because he feels accepted and validated here by these intelligent beings. And then he feels special because he's like tapping into his mission, and it makes him, he feels like, I'm a genius. Like, I know something that nobody else knows. I'm a genius. And this feels, I can't believe this. It's like amazing. Like, I didn't know this about myself. I'm so smart. Oh my God. Like, how am I able to do this? Why is this happening? I can't wait to share this to the world and tell everybody this. And it's like, he's falling fast for like just his life and falling back in love with himself and you, because the connection he has with you is what helped open him up to all of this. Because you guys activated each other. You sparked each other back alive, back awake. Maybe you were just like merely living, you know, it's like people that are just going through the motions, or they are living on the material plane in a very materialistic way. Now he's awakening to something deeper and unbound, releasing soul patterns, exactly, contracts and past lives. Like, he's releasing the way he has always done things and the way he's always known how to do things. It's really releasing that attachment to the earthly plane, represented by gravity. Here you see these people ascending. It's doing things in a materialistic way, only relating to your five senses. He's opening up his sixth sense is what's happening. And he's seeing that he has a mission, a contract, but also he has to release this soul pattern of service of self and gain for the self only, looking to gain only for the self. Or even if you're helping other people, that can still be service to self, because you're doing it to be seen as helping other people. That's why Jesus says, like, you don't fast to be seen. Anoint your head with oil so people don't know you're fasting, and don't let your left hand see what your right hand is giving. Like, don't brag to people when you are doing something meritorious or charitable, because then you lose the merit. And so he's tapping into this service to other, which is, I love everybody else, and everybody loves me, and we all love each other. And this is, when you get into that mindset, then you attract those types of people into your life. His energy towards you, please. Yeah, in the past he was stubborn. See, these two cards, this void and this stubbornness, that's in the past. Okay, that's what he was being. Maybe he's 40 years old, but maybe he's been stubborn since he was 40. Maybe he put on a mask at age 40 and he was living a particular archetype, a particular alter ego, and he was hiding behind that mask. He was like Oz, hiding behind the curtain. And then he started channeling and talking to the Blessed Mother, and she started loving him like he was her little son, and she started cradling you, Divine Masculine, and rocking you in the cradle and smiling down at you and kissing your face and dancing around with you as her little baby and loving you and raising you and teaching you about your life and how to take care of yourself and what you're meant to do in this world. And this all happens very quickly because, you know, time is limitless. It's past, present, and future. Everything's all simultaneous. You grow up in the arms of Mary very quickly. You don't have to like be reborn and relive your whole life in earthly years. This happens very rapidly and very fast. But when you're born to the Blessed Mother, then you learn how to actually live. You learn how to live. And she's teaching him all her secrets. It's like the secrets of Mary. I actually recorded that book, The Secret of Mary, on my other channel, Mediatrix of All Grace. And now he's learning about what true love is. It's about making sacrifices. It's about imitating Christ. Imitating Christ. Okay, and he's learning how to not be bound to the earthly existence, to connect to higher intelligence and to release, to lift barriers and release his denser body. Okay, and live more in the mind. Again, Sirius. See, the Syrian starseeds are telling him, like, you have unfinished business, dude. And you're probably going to be doing this from age 40 to age 59. So this is a brand new cycle. However, depending on how old he is now, Divine Feminine, he'll be doing this to at least 59. And then maybe he'll get maybe there's another contract for another contribution he's supposed to make. So he might have several different missions in one lifetime. Okay, but this one's unfinished, and he's learning what it is now, and this cycle has to do with love. This is all about relationship with you, with the divine beings, the Blessed Mother and other divine beings, and with people that he's serving on the earth plane, to love them, to serve them in love. Okay, so it's happening behind the scenes. Yes, he's wrapping things up. Completion. This is Four of Wands. Okay, yes, this is Aries and Venus. He's learning about how to be a leader, a compassionate leader. You know, that's leading with compassion, leading with love, wishing all entities love and light. Because this comes from a place of happiness. So he's holding that vibration of happiness and joy. But this is his leader mentality, because the birds here, the birds are the messengers telling him to be the Aries, to be the leader, and to lead like Christ, the sun in the center. That's the Christic path, which is Christ loved everybody, regardless of their status, their economic status. You know, he would never insult anybody, or he didn't condemn anybody. Leading in love doesn't mean, oh, you let people walk all over you and you just love them and it's all rainbows and butterflies. No, love has to do sometimes with exhorting other people and admonishing them, because you would be doing them a disservice if you didn't. So even Jesus, he sometimes got angry, but it was righteous anger when he was like turning over the change tables at the temple, because he didn't want people to make the temple into a marketplace. So Divine Masculine, he's getting the wisdom, the information, the truth, right? The cosmic truth, and learning how to serve love as the hermit, learning. He's in the school, cosmic school. There's the Syrians and the Vesuvians, Ra, Horus, and they're teaching him how to serve all these different personalities that he's going to be engaging with in this new cycle of his life. Okay, but mostly they're teaching him based on the cycle he just closed out. So he's referring back to all the people that he's been working with, and he's recognizing their different personalities and how he would approach each one of those people. Like, what does that person need? Do they need to be edified, or do they need to be exhorted? Do they need to be encouraged, or do they need to be corrected? Do they need light? Do they need faith, hope? Okay, so that's what he's learning behind the scenes. Time, creating a positive future. This goes back to, that time is simultaneous, the past, the present, and the future, but he's connecting to all of those times and bringing it all into the present. So he's traveling. This card is about traveling to get the information, to bring it into the present, to gather the information, the hermit, and then apply it to the present. So he's going back in the past, looking at all these personalities that he was working with and seeing, how would I apply this, this, and this? And then he's bringing it into the present. He's recognizing traits in those people and all the new people in his life. And then he's applying that knowledge, hermit. He's observing the hanged man, and this includes you too, divine feminine, because will be analyzing you, because he wants to harmonize your connection rather than judge you or butt heads with you. He's learning how he needs to change for each person. That's what working with archetypes is. The archetype isn't like, oh, I'm going to be this person or I'm going to be that person. The archetype is, you've got to recognize all these archetypes in your life, and you have to respond to each one according to who they are presenting as. And one person doesn't always present as a particular archetype. They'll present as a archetype from minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day. They'll change, but you've got to know who they are and how to deal with that person at that given moment in order to create the best possible relationships across the board in your life. You're already doing it. Okay, so he's already applying this. He's already facing his true north. He's already, like, this is all in motion this week. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. Yeah, he's almost in disbelief that his life is changing so rapidly. But he's on the right path. This is very psychological with the hermit and the hanged man. Spiritual technology, Vega, present. So it's all about communication. So the way he's communicating is changing. The way he sees people, the way he sees people that are age 23 from the way he sees people that are age 40, from the way he sees people that are age 59. And then all the different personalities and what archetype are they presenting as? And when they present as that archetype, how do I present myself to them in order to be of benefit to the highest good for both of us, for everybody, for the world? So this is what he's doing. Okay, and these circles mean that he's learning, applying, and graduating very quickly. Okay, he's getting all this information, applying it to his life, and completing it. Like, he's mastering this week. He's like, this is easy. He's like, oh, I got this. It's so easy. I know exactly what personality that is. I know what that requires. I know how to deal with that. I know how to do. He's like, oh my gosh, I'm like a genius. It's like, how do I know this? Like, I just woke up knowing all of this. It's so weird. I feel like I'm like a genius. Okay, this is his challenge. Yeah, the high priestess. To just trust that, yeah, you're a genius, divine masculine. You're channeling it and it makes sense and you're applying it and it actually works. And this is amazing. Here, the camel, it carries water with it. So it's like you're watering seeds everywhere. What you're doing is you're seeing people as seeds. And you're like, that seed needs water so it can bloom. And you're like, it's like a little mini star energy that as the high priestess, the way that you communicate to people, whether you're communicating with words or not using words, even St. Francis of Assisi says, only use words when necessary. So it's also the way you treat them. It's like your body language, it's your eye contact, it's, sensing their needs, accommodating, and figuring out how to keep things growing, fruitful, and blooming. And don't worry. See, these are all the platonic solids. Don't worry. This is your challenge. Like, don't worry. Like, if you were like, oh man, I forgot to address that person by their name. Always addressing people by their names, like upon greeting, upon leaving. And when you're referring to other people, rather than referring to other people as like, well, she said to do this, or he told me that. Always use names. Like, don't be upset with yourself when you miss something. Just, do it the next time. It's all a learning curve. So that's a challenge, because he's starting to realize, oh my gosh, I'm learning my mind is working faster than my actual body is outputting that. Like my mouth is saying it, or it's like coming into my mind so fast. I'm falling so fast in love with this information, but I'm forgetting to apply it, in every single situation. It's The Path of Perfection, which is a book by Saint Teresa of Avila. And, he's a perfectionist, high priestess. That's his challenge. He's a perfectionist. So, it's all about, authentic listening. So, make sure you're listening to the person that's talking to you. Try to remember what they told you. And this is a good way to cultivate relationships and create cohesion by recognizing their personality. What is their personality? What is their archetype? What kind of a person are they? What do they share? What information do they share? Like some people, they might share information about their family. Then you always want to remember that. And you want to ask them about that next time you talk to them. Or maybe they like to talk about their trips, their vacations, and you want to remember that. Or they talk about their body and their health. You want to hear what people are saying, and you want to attach that to that person and remember that information, even if it has nothing to do with the business that you're doing or conducting with that person. That is a part of their personality. That is how you speak to their soul. That is how you create connection, the spark, and keep the spark alive, keep the ember lit. And he's going to be listening to you this way too, Divine Feminine. Okay, but this is a challenge, because before he wasn't really listening to himself. He wasn't really listening to other people, because he wasn't even being himself. He was like putting on masks, and everybody else was wearing a mask, and he was dealing with a bunch of people wearing masks. And I don't know, like, what's all over my table? I forgot to pull one of these cards for what's going on behind the scenes. What's going on behind the scenes? Boundaries. Love may challenge your boundaries. Protect them. Yeah, one thing he's learning about people, like people that he's always worked with or always engaged with, people, friends, coworkers, bosses, things like that. What he's completing is that he didn't really have good boundaries with a lot of people. So he's learning how to set boundaries. He's realizing there's certain personality types that he has to set boundaries with, because those people need to be edified or exhorted in a particular way. And if he doesn't do that, then it's a lax boundary. If it's a lax boundary, he could be held responsible for their error. And he shouldn't seek their counsel, because they need to be exhorted. And so, yeah, he's having to set boundaries, because they could derail him, hinder him when he's running well. And so, yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot that he's learning about people and personalities, and how to create strong connections without being influenced or swayed by other people. Like coming to that center of being a being of force, power, grounding his being in that centeredness of force and power, like of knowing himself and his ability to take any kind of a personality and be able to create cohesion with that person, regardless of differences. Okay, priestess, it's a double priestess card. See, this is a high priestess energy. How are you being called to step up? Yeah, regardless of your differences, you're called to be the one that understands. They don't need to understand you, because they will not be able to understand you. You are way too complex. because what you're doing is you're understanding everybody else and knowing that I have to be different with each person, and I need to be in confidence with that person too. You have to keep their confidences, and then you have to shift. You have to like shape shift into a different archetype for each person, so that you, through this listening, so that you can achieve whatever you want to achieve with that person at that given moment. And it changes, like I said, from minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day. A person that you're talking to can change within the course of one conversation several times. That's why it's a high priestess, and people could not possibly understand you, so don't expect them to understand you. But you can understand them in the moment so that you can be effective. This is all about efficiency. Okay, efficiency it's the path of ascension. That's the main path, efficiency. So listening, paying attention to other people, obeying what you hear, and then getting the intuitive downloads from your extraterrestrial guides, and then taking action. True, authentic listening is when our souls are given a chance to ascend to the higher levels. So that's where his challenge is. He's learning how to listen. Learning how to listen to his guides, his extraterrestrial guides. I'm talking about extraterrestrial. I'm not talking about ancestors. I did mention that in the beginning, but no. These are intelligent beings that he's channeling. I think I did clarify that, but just to be sure. There's a difference. Maybe people don't know there's a difference, and I need to tell you that ancestors are not extraterrestrials. It's totally different. Unless you know that they ascended to this level. And you'll know based on the way they communicate to you. See, extraterrestrials, they can materialize on the 3D plane. Yeah, they're his mentors. Okay, they're his mentors. They can materialize on the 3D plane like St. Raphael did in the Book of Tobit. He materialized as a man. He disguised himself as a man so that he could communicate with Tobias, Tobit's son, Tobias, 7-7. This is a lesson learned, never to be repeated, that he needs mentorship. This is his biggest challenge, to accept help, but he's accepting help from very intelligent beings, which that resonates with him, with divine masculine. So he wouldn't accept help from any human because he was like, I am God and everybody needs to bow down to me. But that's the self he's shedding. And now he's humbling himself before God. And now he's got all of these mentors. He's paying attention, looking out for signs from the divine, and he's acknowledging red flags, right? So he also can look at a person and know that's a red flag. Now I know that person needs to be admonished, or that person needs to be corrected. They're in error, and I need to tell them the truth. And also, I can't keep a confidence in them. I can't tell them my private life because they're in error. And so he's learning how to set boundaries. He's learning what the red flags are, and he's learning how to engage. Okay, so there was people in his life in the past where there were a lot of red flags that he ignored, and he didn't have good boundaries with people that needed him. He didn't need them, they needed him. And then there's people that he doesn't need anybody on earth. He only needs the extraterrestrials to help him. You know, Nikola Tesla only sought counsel from the extraterrestrials, Uri Geller. Okay, so this is high intelligence. This is the way he's relating to you, divine feminine. Wow, 10 of Pentacles, wealth. Everything that he learns and knows, everything that he has, everything that he is yours. He's like, everything I have is for her. I give her everything I have because she is the other half of me, and I'm not holding anything back from my divine feminine. That's his new attitude to you this week. He has a lot of completion energy. This is a 10. And these are the planets. He's really tapping into his soul mission. He knows that he has to polarize with his divine feminine in order to channel, because there's a sexual energy transfer that happens that helps him channel this energy. So he can't channel this energy without the polarity with his divine feminine, or polarizing his feminine side of himself with the masculine side of himself, which is hemisync. So it's the same thing. But you are like a reflection of that feminine aspect of himself to remind him to sync that. So like if he's at odds with you, if he's in discord with you, divine feminine, that means he's not hemisyncing. That means his right hemisphere of his brain is not in sync with his left hemisphere of his brain. And that's a sign that he's off kilter, he's out of balance. So, when he's in harmony with you, then he's in harmony with himself, his feminine and his masculine aspect. See, everything in this plane is like a reflection of what's going on in the inner world. Cosmic lamp. So he's being light. He's like the sun shining on you. You're the feminine moon, and he's the masculine light, and he's shining his light on you this week. He's sharing all the truth he has with you. He's not hiding anything from you this week. Ultimate truth. Okay, he's going to tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God, divine masculine. You couldn't bestow your truth on anyone more gracious than the divine feminine, because she's so grateful for your truth. She waits patiently for your truth, like she's waiting for the sun to rise. So yeah. Individuality. Be wary of possessive partners. Maintain your individuality. Also, he's aware that he had been possessive in the past, and that you, even though you are the other half of himself, you are still an individual. And so he's really checking himself when he gets jealous or possessive, like he wants you to bow down to him, or he wants you to do it his way. He's starting to appreciate that the polarity is that you're a different instrument than he is, and together you make beautiful music. Okay, and so that's just him accepting you as separate from himself, but the perfect complement to him, so that you can create beautiful music together. Leaving home. Okay, mostly this all happens because he's traveling to like a parallel world where you are living in harmony, and he's learning while he's asleep. So he's astral traveling while he's asleep. He's leaving this planet, going to another planet where things are in harmony, and then he's applying that to his present life with you. Ten of Pentacles. Inner temple. He really sees you as a moon energy, very feminine energy. Here, the inner temple. Like you're the Vesica Pisces. Like you are like a portal to higher dimensions. The devotion you have to him helps him tune into the portal of his heart. So your femininity, your devotion helps him to activate the femininity within himself, so that he can balance, hemisync his masculinity with his femininity in order to keep channeling these beings. So something about you, the divine feminine essence that you gave off in the connection, helped him to connect to extraterrestrials. It did. You believe it or not. You have really helped him, but you don't even know you did this. They were using you to help him. God, that's why God made you to be the helpmate. You don't necessarily know how you're being the helpmate. So don't you overjudge yourself. Like you can't really do this by thinking about it. This is very subtle. This is part of who you are. This is the way God created you, divine feminine. And so the way that you help him, it's a passive energy. That's why it's moon. Moon is a passive energy. You don't actually know you're helping him in it, but you have to be your authentic feminine self in order for that to happen. So that means that you've been in your authentic femininity, which is the dark feminine. It's the dark moon, right? It could have to do with your moods, your cycles, but see, that's all material for him. But you can't analyze it. Don't analyze it, because that'll mess it up. It's like, don't look in the 10 times mirror. No, because that's okay. This is the way you're, yeah, that's what you're doing. You'll analyze it. The devil, you're overcritical of yourself. You're like, I can't be like this. I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I said that. Oh my God. Like, you're like, you're your own worst enemy, divine feminine. You're always critiquing yourself. You're always saying, I got to change this. I got to change that. I got to change him, or I have to do this for him, or I can't do it that way. There's the wand of the adept in the middle. You've got to tap into the goat energy, that's Capricorn energy, and spiral upwards, and don't get down into that low vibration of the base nature of being hypercritical. Okay, go with the flow. It's Wu Wei. We flow, we don't force. It's the Tao of the Pooh. It's Taoism. Because the web down there and getting into the hypercritical energy, it's like, it's better to see that we're all interconnected, and so your authentic self is what connects you to the other people, whereas your critical energy is like what separates you from people. So just be you, because that's what connects you to other people, because people need your authenticity, because that's why you were created that way. You were created a certain way to be that for other people. And maybe you're really good at doing that in your life, but maybe when it comes to divine masculine, you're more critical of yourself. But you're probably more critical of yourself because he was hiding who he is. But this week, he's not going to be hiding who he is. He's going to be showing you who he is. Sun. Yeah, he's going to shine the light, right? The cosmic lamp. The sun. Remember I said he's the sun and you're the moon. He's going to shine on you. So he's going to give you the illumination, and that's going to brighten everything. That's going to help you to see him more clearly. Even here, the goat has the eye, the third eye open. And then you're going to be able to climb with him, keep striving with him, because the goat has to climb. It might not be easy because you're going to be seeing a side of him that you're not used to seeing. And you might be like, whoa, wait, what's happening? Oh my God. You might not even be ready for what a genius he is. It might be a little intimidating, and you might not like it. You might feel like, I'm losing my power. No, it's not a power struggle. He's your complement. Don't forget. He's individual like you're individual, but he'll help you because he's coming into a leadership position real fast for you. You'll like that. You'll fall for that. But at the same time, you might be trying to steer and control, but you got to release the control, divine feminine. You got to release the control. You got to get grounded. Okay, you got to get grounded because things are going to start moving forward really fast. He's going to take on a leadership role like you've always wanted him to, but it's going to happen really fast. You're going to be scared, and you got to stay grounded. Look at all the roses. Meditate, meditate, take time to breathe, connect to Mother Nature, connect to your higher self. Ask them to explain to you why this is happening to divine masculine now, and what does it mean for you. And we'll look at that in your reading. We'll see. You're an empath. You'll be highly sensitive to his changes, and you'll need to connect with nature. You'll need to cleanse in nature. You need to get messages from the birds and the trees. They've got information for you. The trees to keep you grounded, and also the birds to connect to extraterrestrials, the higher intelligent. Love's greatest gift is the ability to understand one another. Yeah, you need to get grounded so you can understand what's going on with him. But the only way you can do that is by staying rooted to the earth and then connecting to the higher beings. If you connect to the higher beings and you're not rooted, then you're entering into a dangerous territory. If you never connect to the higher beings, then you might not understand him. If you're only relating to the earthly plane, you won't really understand what's happening. So you have to seek to understand him. Okay, understanding is one of the 7 gifts of the Holy Spirit, understanding one another. So loving one another is like the royal law and the golden rule, but the 7 gifts of the Spirit are knowledge, which he's getting, wisdom, which is his mission to impart that knowledge. Understanding is like the counsel we get from the Blessed Mother, the Star Mother, and the star beings, which are the extraterrestrials, higher intelligence. And then fortitude, you got to keep going, you got to keep striving. This might be his mission right now, but like I said, at 59, he might get a new mission. You got to know that things are always evolving. You can't think, oh, I got my whole life to do this, and you're going to go slow, because efficiency is like one of the prerequisites for ascension. You got to keep going. You got to keep moving. It's all about movement. You see a lot of movement happening here, but see, like you might stop moving, but you got to stay connected. These people are just like posing, but these people are interconnected. I'm just seeing like on this card that these people are like not connected, and these people are connected. So it's like 2 different paths, 2 different paths. But you want to be the adept, the one that connects people. You want to be the connector of people. The connector of people, the leader, because Capricorn is a leader. Okay, Capricorn is the boss, but you got to use your intuition. Also, you got to see which people are not connecting with the whole, and you might have to make decisions about how to create connections. So you're the connector. Also, you're like the boss in regards to something the divine masculine's learning. Oh, it's this one. Let's see what that is. Something maybe about how he applies everything to his career, because the Capricorn, this is Devil, Capricorn, it's the 10th house of career. Energy transmission, Arcturus. Okay, so see Capricorn's horns, you're channeling Arcturus. Arcturus, that's part of Boets, or whatever, it's the constellation. You see it. You should look at it, connect to it, because the Arcturians, they're very close to us and they're always communicating to us, but it's like a parallel universe. It's like an energy transmission. Like I told you, you're transmitting sexual energy to him so that he can channel these entities for his work. Yeah, it's a sexual energy transfer. That's what, but you're learning how to do that. It's not necessarily a physical thing. It's very mental. Doing it mentally. It's a blue ray transfer, actually. It's a green ray transfer, which is really the heart chakra, pink and green, and a blue ray transfer, which is using your higher intellect, like sexually, the sexual energy between the two of you. It's like, it's mutual love, basically. It's mutual love and mutual intelligence, like mutual respect and admiration for one another, and mutual love that you have for one another. And those two things work really well together, and they create a smooth sexual energy transfer that can amp up his ability to deal emotionally with people. And it actually transfers energy to you so that you can be the connector of all these people. I leave you in the love and light to one infinite creator Adonai. Go forth, therefore, rejoicing in their power and their might and their miracles in your life. Amen.